Hello Rock Nation and welcome back to another video. So today is definitely a Pilates day. And since I worked last night, my energy is a little lower, so I'm actually gonna drink a coffee before my workout today. So let's make a coffee. We're pretty much ready. We don't wear shoes in the class. Got my workout clothes on. I just need to get some socks that have some kind of grip on them. And then I usually just wear my Crocs or my slides on the way there. They discontinued these shorts. I love them because they have so much stretch, but they hug you in all the right places. And just the length is cute. You know, I feel like for the most part, all shorts ride up, but these shorts specifically, they ride, but in the right way. Like, it's not like you ever walk past a mirror or anything and you have like a balled up bunch of fabric right where you don't want it to be. Like, for the most part, they stay where they need to. And then I also just feel really confident in these shorts. But of course, you know, they always gotta end a good thing. Why? They were working. Anyway, so let's make our coffee and then head to Pilates. I actually really love caramel macchiatos. Whenever I go to Starbucks, I'm trying to avoid the sugar. You can taste how much sugar it is because most of the time I don't really eat a lot of sugar. I've really been trying to cut back. And it's so delicious and addicting, but I just cannot do it to myself. I can't ruin all of my progress that I've been making for a coffee. Let's go. A little embarrassing. I feel like straws are kind of embarrassing. It's almost like you gotta be a pro straw user to not look like a fool. And I don't like that. Literally just like, it's like, come on. Yesterday at work was cool. Actually, it wasn't cool. To be honest, it's kind of terrible. Like, I don't like my job. I don't. So here's the thing about being a server or a waitress. The perks of the job: money, flexibility. You can take time off whenever you want to, generally quick. Usually with those types of jobs, you make cash, so then you can, like, you'll have your money the same day. In California, actually, though, they want to make sure that they collect. So a lot of businesses have moved. Oh, shit. I spilled coffee all over the car. Really chaotic start. Okay, anyway. I guess I'm not supposed to talk about that, so let's not. Work was cool in the fact that I have more money than I had yesterday, but to be honest, I don't enjoy the work. People don't understand that you're managing so many things at one time, so they're not really understanding when they see you talking to someone. Like, you'll literally be in the middle of a conversation and someone else right next to you who sees you in the middle of a conversation, and they will completely interrupt what you're saying just to get your attention. And it's like, okay, I can see you. Mind you, if you're good at managing your space and your time, you can look over and acknowledge them and let them know you'll be with them. But some people are so just inconsiderate of the fact that you are talking to another human being, and also the fact that you are another human being. I've worked in a lot of places, and I typically find that it's in the trendier, high-end, expensive places that people will walk in and they probably don't really go out like that. And those are the people who act super rude. It's not really the people who spend money all the time and who go out and entertain themselves all the time. It's the people who come in rarely and want to flex. And it's almost like there's this complex that because they're in a nicer place, they feel like the way that people go to nice, like, they feel like the type of people who go to nice places are rude and do these things, and that's just not the case. You also kind of see different levels of money too, which is very interesting, because You'll see the people who have had money and they dress and they look and act like they don't have any. They're very modest and polite. And then there's the people who maybe just got money. Have to let everybody know they do. Those are the people who love to talk about money. Like, they love to talk about their cars and their new house and all these things and brag. I feel like working in a restaurant teaches you a lot of things. Not only does it teach you a lot of skills just on how to survive in the world, it just gives you a perspective on so many different personalities and so many different backgrounds, but more than anything, character traits of different socioeconomic levels of people. With that being said, I hate it. I don't like it. I don't like the work. It doesn't really challenge me in the way that I need to be challenged, and that is intellectually. I like things that I'm constantly learning and I'm constantly growing, and it can become very monotonous, very boring. And like any job, when something becomes that way, or you're put under a ton of stress in a short amount of time, or the intensity of the work just puts a lot of mental and emotional stress on you, it puts things into perspective and you remember how small of a role you're actually playing in somebody's life. So if this offends anybody, honestly, I'm not sorry, but if you go somewhere to a restaurant with crazy expectations and maybe a human makes a mistake, guys, it's just dinner. It's just a meal. Even if you're celebrating something, like I've literally gone out on my birthday, been dressed super cute, like put a lot of time and energy and effort into my outfit, for a server to accidentally spill an entire spicy margarita with, like, I think it was like strawberry, like a strawberry spicy margarita, to spill a strawberry margarita on me. And honestly, I was super cool about it because it was a mistake, it was an accident, but somebody will take something like that and go off. I think the worst that I've seen is a really upscale restaurant that I worked at in LA when one of the first places that I worked at in LA when I first moved here. So the server is trying to get the attention of the table and she's talking to them and they're talking over her the entire time she's trying to explain things on the menu and answer questions for another person. Every time she's in the middle of answering a question for someone, this lady interrupts her to ask another question. Like the fourth or fifth time, I think she said, like, okay, like, if we could just shut it down with the questions, I'm gonna continue explaining, blah, blah, blah. This table, mind you, it's a table of 9 or 10 people. The lady's husband just loses it. When he hears the words shut it down, he loses it. He gets up out of his seat and starts trying to come at her, like gets in her face. He's like, you don't tell my wife, shut it down. You don't tell my wife, blah, 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 blah. Trying to be in her face. Guys, this is a fine dining steakhouse. We're selling steaks by the ounce for $36 an ounce, and this man is getting in this woman's face who's probably 5'5". This is a 5'11", 6-foot man getting in her face because as she's trying to explain and answer questions, his wife continues to interrupt her and she kind of tries to like mitigate the situation. Bro, all of the rest of the table start standing up because the manager comes over to defend her. And they're literally like causing a huge scene in this restaurant. And these people have money. So it's like, why are you acting like this? 1. 2, it's not that serious. You guys are having dinner. You're going to have breakfast in the morning. I don't understand why people like blow things so out of proportion. Long story short, they didn't even leave, which is the worst part. It's like, I would have asked them to leave if I were the manager. They don't leave. They continue to dine there with another server. And after they leave, we see a Yelp review the next day. And they're basically trying this girl's entire life to the point that she had a mental breakdown and took off work for a couple of weeks. They literally were going in talking about, oh, she obviously hates her job. She's a starving actor in LA, just another starving, miserable actor in LA, blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, wow. 5 of you had to write a review shitting on this girl because your wife didn't know how to stop interrupting somebody? This is my perspective because obviously I work there, and maybe you have a different opinion because everybody's the hero or the victim of their own story. But I don't think that's ever cool. If somebody makes a mistake, move past it, just like you would expect somebody to do for you. Especially in a job like a restaurant. Like, think about it. The way that a lot of people treat people who work in a restaurant, you should not be blowing up the situation to be as serious it is if you're willing to treat the person so small. Think about that. Anyways, it's time to go to Pilates. I did not drink my coffee because I was talking, so we're gonna chug it on the way. Got my water bottle. I've got my keys because I don't want my car to get stolen. And here we go. The stuff that you see when you work in a restaurant is absolutely insane. That's one end of it. The other end is that you see people being sneaky. Ooh, and there's always tea in a restaurant. There was this place that I bartended at where for over a year, I had this regular, and every time he came in, he would give me a $100 bill, just before he even really said hello. And so of course, we remembered his drinks. We made sure that when him and his wife would come in, because he would come in with his wife and we'd have her Chardonnay ready for her, and he was like a gin and tonic. We'd always have their drinks ready, $100, boom, every time for one round of drinks. Plus, it was an automatic gratuity place, so we would just automatically make 20% of it. And one day he comes in, and we heard he was coming in, so we go to get the drinks ready, and he comes up to the bar with his wife. This was a completely different woman in the past year of seeing this man almost 3 times a week. The person he was bringing into the restaurant all that time was his mistress. It was not his wife. And so before I even said hello, he hands me the $100 bills and he goes, "Oh, my wife won't be drinking this evening." That was probably the first time I ever encountered any situation like that. That was super eye-opening, where my perspective of some man who has everything put together and who's a good guy and like treats his wife really well and is super attentive, that was completely shattered for me. And it made me really sad. But luckily, I still have my sense of wonder, and I haven't lost my faith in humanity and men in general. Okay, so that's it for Pilates. It was actually an intense workout. I was sweating a lot, but I just wiped them off my face so that I could be camera ready. You gotta stay ready so you ain't gotta get ready, right? So, it's 12 p.m. now. I need to head to Home Goods so that I can find a couple of new pots for my plants. Oh my gosh. So my Hawaiian plants, my Hawaiian plants died because I left them out in the sun for too long. And luckily, I got some advice from the guy at Home Depot when I went to actually get the replacement plants for those. And he said if I rip off the brown ones close to the stem, that should be enough to make sure that it grows back. So I could already see some baby little leaves in the center growing back, which made me feel a lot better about it. So might take a while, but at least I didn't completely murder them. But yes, I do need a really big pot for the new bird of paradise plant that I got. Crazy thing is, it says it's an indoor, but it's the same size as the ones that I saw in the outdoor section. But where I found it, it was actually kind of hidden inside of the inner part of the plant. So I think somebody maybe hid it there and planned to come back for it later, but they didn't expect me coming up in there, going inside of there and finding it. It was the only one. And as I was going to check out, like 5 people stopped me to ask where I got it, and I didn't see any other plants like that. But yeah, so great Pilates class. I always feel so good after I get through it because this particular instructor is the hardest one. Pilates is no joke, guys. I don't care what anybody says. And I've done all of them. I've done F45, I've done Orange Theory, I've done Rumble, like every possible type of workout. Actually, I don't think have I done CrossFit? Doesn't matter. All I know is Pilates is really hard. Like every single time I take the class, I reach a point halfway where I'm not sure if I'm gonna make it through the entire class. That might not sound like something good to you, but for the gym girlies out there, you know what I'm talking about. It's addictive, it keeps you feeling challenged, and it makes you want to continue. And we're all about leveling up this year. And speaking about leveling up, once I get home, not only am I going to edit the rest of last night's vlog, but I'm also going to come up with a proposal for my job for creating the video content for the restaurant. So they're actually, hopefully, you know, they are, knock on wood, gonna be my first clients officially on retainer. So I gotta get all that in order for them so I can send it to them, and I'm going to put a prospective start date of March 1st. The 1st sounds like, it sounds official. It makes it seem official for me. Day 1, slay 1. Hopefully we can find the exit of this shopping plaza. I always get lost right over here. Ah!
Like he was drunk off his ass. He probably drank all day. So he's just in his drunk feels and it's like, I miss you, blah, blah, blah.
Oh my God. Like, they love to do that stuff.
This is an ego boost.
Wait, so you did not answer, correct? You did not answer.
No.
Okay.
No. I didn't even open the message.
Good.
And so like to me, this is like a huge ego boost. Cause
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah. You know, honestly, I thought it was going to be like a month or like maybe like a long time for him to be like, oh, I miss you. Not a week later.
A week
like,
later, bro. A week later.
Literally a week later. So
yeah, and it's annoying because it takes them to see what they're missing for them to be like, oh, maybe actually this person was awesome.
Yeah. Exactly.
Super annoying.
But it gives me an ego boost because I'm like, yeah, this whole time you acted like you were the prize in the relationship. But now we know who the actual prize was.
Oh, girl, we've been new.
Yeah, no, exactly. But like, that just boosted my ego. Because like, I literally blocked him on all forms of social media yesterday so I wouldn't look at his stuff. Because I was like, I don't want to look at any of his stuff.
Yes, I got the cutest pots. I got white ones. I don't know why, but I'm really loving this white sort of beige and cream decor. I might add a couple splashes of teal, like that dark peacock green teal. And I'm just like very much in this era of making my space as peaceful and as comfortable as possible. Especially after struggling with my boyfriend to really coordinate things because he has kind of struggled to leave this frat housey functional furniture era that's clashing with my classy girl aesthetic. And I've had to make some compromises. Like, I'm ready to get a new couch. He prefers a sectional. I don't want a sectional. I want to get something really cute. But, you know, in his mind, girl couches, that's what he says, girl couches are not comfortable. So for right now, while we're looking for a sectional that also reclines, because that's the compromise, I got some new sofa covers, and they have made a world of a difference. If you're watching, if you feel like, you know, once you're moving in with a girl and she's really trying to add a womanly touch to your place, just let her, okay? Let her, because she knows what she's doing. She's seen enough Pinterest, Instagram, TikTok videos to know how to do that and to accommodate both of you and to create a magical situation from whatever she's working with. Please just let her do it so she can be in her peaceful girl era with you, because if you are not gonna do that, she will go find somewhere else to be in peace by herself. That was my PSA. We're all gonna elevate. We're all going to be in the place closer than we were last year, especially. I really feel it. Like, I feel the energy this year. It's just a year for all of us, especially those of us who feel like our lives and our careers and just our relationships and our money situation has been stagnant. This is the year. I don't know if you guys feel it, but this is the year that is going to make a lot of positive changes happen for most of us. Especially if you put in the work. Like, I think the opportunities will present themselves whether or not you put in the work, but I definitely think you need to put in that work so that you can be ready when it happens. Yeah. Damn, you have something on your face, Bear.
Something on my face.
It's handsome. Hi, baby.
Hi, baby.
Give me a kiss.
Alright, pots are in the back.
Yes.
I'll pull her up.